Hello and welcome back. Welcome everybody to part 6 of our US Reuben James build by Academy in 1/350 scale. So in this video we're up to doing the radar, and as you can see I've got all the parts off in the same order they've got in the instructions here. I've got my tile here to do some bending on, razor blade, and also a ruler as well, just to make sure my bends are nice and straight. And what we're going to do is just go through each step as it shows here. So you can see the next step I've got to do is pretty much bending this in half. Then we've got to bend these two sides up and make that into a box shape. This here is actually bent into a slight curve, as you can see in the bottom picture, but we can wait before we do that. And then we've got this piece here which also has a bend along the length, and this here goes into a sort of a box shape. And this is the best picture, if I can get there, sorry about the glare, there we go, that's the best picture, so we can get a side view and see exactly how it's going to look and sit together. There is a similar photo on the box art that shows like that, but that's our reference. Alright, so what I'll do is I'll go through these steps. When I probably get down to about this part here, we'll stop and have a look at the progress. The important thing here is this stuff is very, very thin, and I've got to be careful, make sure that I bend it the right way the first time, because if I need to bend something back the other way, it's definitely going to break and just make my job more difficult. So, but we'll see. I'm pretty confident, should be good. Alright, so I shall be back in a sec and we'll get this thing looking like it should. Okay, back again for an update. So I've got these all done. Now, this one's fine. This one's didn't need to be touched. This one doesn't get folded completely in half. There needs to be a gap. It's like a V shape. Okay, so basically when they're sort of parallel with each other, then that's about far enough. Now this piece here needs to be folded in half, then there's two little tabs on the end that cover the ends of it, so it's sort of like a half fold. Very, very tricky. You've got to use your tweezers in there and get it just right. That will go on the end here where this is. Now this one, I know it looks different to the picture. Alright, let's bring that across here. There we go. Try and keep the glare off. Alright. So this has two pieces sticking out the side here which aren't on there. I'm not too sure where they bend, so I'm just going to hold off on that and wait. Whether they go forwards or backwards, I'm not sure. So I'm not going to bend it and then find out I've done it the wrong way and have them break. This little piece here was not a problem. Again, very tiny and small lines. You need that little ruler to do that, and your razor blade to get it just right as well. And now I'm doing this, which is the dish part, I guess you'd call it. So what I've done is I've got it on my foam piece here, and then I'm using a toothpick, right? And then all I do is I lay the toothpick in the center here, and then I'm just going to roll it out like that, and roll it out like that. Try and keep an even amount of pressure. That's it. You don't need much at all, and you get that curve happening. That curve needs to match that curve, because that's going to sit on the back of this. Okay, because the next photo along shows it. You can hardly make it out, but it's actually sitting in there after we put this piece on the end of there. Alright, and it's on the back of there. Alright, so what we'll be doing is turning this over, alright, like this. Get it the right way around, like that. And then I'll come along with this, okay, and we'll sit that on there, and that, considering that's my first attempt, that looks almost spot on there. It really does. I think I just need to put a little bit more curve in this end here, but that side is fine. So I'll just lightly give that one more roll and that'll be fine. So there you go, not hard. So I'll glue that on. I'll also glue that onto there, and then we'll it looks like we've also got this piece on the other side of there as well. Alright, so progressing well, nothing's broken, fingers crossed, touch wood, and I'll be back again with a bit more progress. Okay, welcome back everybody, and success, well, kind of. So as you can see, I've got it all put together here. It's all glued, it's all nice and straight, and it's all on there. It looks really good, but I don't know where that goes. So if we go back to the instructions here, you'll see that there it is there. That's the piece there, and then it's sort of still sort of there, although I don't know if that's the same piece. It just looks like nothing else. I don't know what that is. Then we look at that, right, and then we're going down, and I don't see it on here at all. I don't see it on the finished piece. I can't find where that piece goes. So yeah, I'm just going to put that into the little box of unknowns, because I mean, as far as I'm concerned, it all looks fine. It looks good. I'm happy with the way it looks now, and that is done. Just make sure that's sitting flat as I want. Yep, that's good. Right, so now I've brought out my little tower here. There it is there. Right, probably lay it down because of the overhead camera. You can see there. Now what it doesn't tell you is that, well, it won't just sit on there because the railing's in the way. Alright, and here's the original plastic piece. So what we're going to have to do is cut off the support there and then put that in there, and then this will go on top because it's replaced that part there. Okay, so just remember that. You're going to have to cut that off, put it in there. It's keyed, so it only goes one way, but it shouldn't matter because we've replaced the plastic version. Alright, and that will give it the height it needs for this to sit on top, and then it's completely done. Other than that, yeah, I'm not going to throw it away. I'll put it aside. Maybe it'll come to me later and I'll go, oh, that's where it goes, but I really can't see it anywhere going anywhere. So yeah, it's a mystery. Alright, so I will continue on and we'll be back again very shortly with a bit more progress. Alright, it's on. There you go. And it's looking good. Look at that. Fantastic. I was worried about that for all the wrong reasons. It turned out perfectly fine, and we got it sitting up on there. Beautiful, nice and straight and all good. Excellent. So let me organize all my stuff here, get things back in order, and we'll see what we've got to do next. Okay, back in a sec. Okay, so step 7 is completed. Alright, with the photo etch version of this, so we can cross that off, that off, that off. These have got number 4 on them, which means they've got to be done black, but I need to confirm that. That seemed to be right why they would be black, but anyway, we'll check. This is all, whoops, got to be careful. There we go, all our structures there. This is all done. That's all done. Now I was looking at the photo etch and thought there's still some railing on there, and well, I saw there's still this little bit here I haven't done. So there's a ladder and another bit of railing, and I'm wondering where's that. We haven't even got to that yet, so it's not a problem. If we go over the page, so we're going past all this now, which is all done here, step 9, over to here, and if we look here, we've got this number R, which is this needs a bit of railing and a ladder put on it. Looks like the ladder's going to replace the plastic ladder there, so that's got to go on there. There's also another piece of railing on here and another ladder. Okay, so there's a little bit of a longer ladder there, if you can see that. There's a little ladder there that's a longer one, and one more piece of railing, two more pieces of railing, and I don't know where they go. I think that once we've done this part in here, we've done all the photo etch. Maybe they're spares. I will go through and double check everything, make sure I haven't missed anything, but you know, I'm just looking up here now and I can see another, there's number 24 and there's number 51, so there could be another ladder. Yeah, I think there's the other railing and the other ladder there. Okay, so not to worry, we're all good. I'll knock that over again. Geez, I'm going to have to put them somewhere safe. Okay, alright, so what we're going to do is these little bits of plastic come off that go up on the deck there, and a couple of pieces I hadn't done on the very stern. We'll get those on, and then we'll start working on this part here. Alright, so I'll get my plastic ready, put this somewhere safe, these pieces somewhere safe, and we'll continue. We'll be back in a sec. Alright, so moving right along, I'm doing step 10, which is this little part here. I'm putting these little pieces on here, which I didn't know what they were till I found out from my good friend who served on this ship, Simon, and they're chaff launchers. Alright, and there they are there. Look how small those pieces are. There's 6 of them. I've already done 6. They're right there on the deck. You probably won't see. There's 6 of them on there. I've got to do this 6 on the other side. My God, it is so hard cleaning the plastic up on something that you can barely hold in your fingers. It was a challenge. So that's going to take me a bit of time. Then after that, I will get on to finishing these little pieces on the stern there, which were, I think they were, actually, were they on the stern? I don't know if it was there or up on here. Yeah, it is. It's up on here. So I've still got about 2 pieces, 2 or 3 of those to go on. And then we'll start work on that other piece that needs photo etch, which is this one here. This has got to go on somewhere as well. But yeah, we'll get all that done. Okay, and then after that, just have a peek. It looks like we got the helicopter coming up, which means we've got to look at painting this. We've got to look at getting some paint, at least getting the primer done. Now, I will mention that I have got some, here it is here, medium grey XF20. I will check. I think that might be fine for the sides. Now this has a, I need to check I need to check some real footage of this ship. I think there's a waterline along here that's going to be black, and we've got the red hull red. So there's some masking and stuff to do, and bits and pieces that's sprayed. Then the sides of the ship, as well as the superstructure and the everything else, is going to be done probably in this grey. I will check and make sure. And of course the deck was slightly darker, and the way I'm going to do the deck was use a wash or panel line. I'm going to water this right down so that it just puts a darker layer across that deck, and I'll just brush that on. Alright, that's the plan. Okay, so but that's a little bit further ahead. Alright, let me get this other stuff done and we'll be back again shortly. Hey there, welcome back again. So, more progress. What I've done is I've put the 2 little pieces either side here. They were these ones in step, where was it? These ones here. Okay, so there's that side and one on that side. Just be careful, you can hardly see there's one there as well. Alright, so there's those two, and then I put those two on as well. They're sitting on the very back there. So that's done. And then I put together, well, those are the two pieces that you got to put together. And then we've done this part here, which is going to go right in the center here. Okay, and here it is here. So there's the frame or the platform that it sits on, and I've already test fitted, just make sure I put it the right way around, and that's going to go pretty much just straight on there like that, and it lines up, trust me, I've already checked. So that's all good. And that, the radar that's on that, which I've just glued, and I think it should be okay to move now, yeah, and there it is there, will sit on the top of that. Okay, so I'm about to glue this into there and then put the whole piece on there, if I don't throw it away. There we go. And then that will be done. And then I think we're up to some exciting bits, something different. So let me just do this and I'll be back in a second. Okay, there it is, on, but not glued down like the rest of the other subsections. I'm going to keep that off as well because I want to be able to get paint underneath there. Okay, so I'll put that over with the other bits and pieces, and that's that. I'll move this out of the way. I'll bring my camera back up and we're going to have a look at the instructions. Alright, totally ignore what I just said. Bring that piece back. We have not finished with that. I completely forgot about the photo etch. The photo etch is this bit here that I haven't crossed off. So we've got to do the ladder on there and the railing. Fortunately, it'll be no problem putting the railing around that, so nothing's going to get in the way. So yeah, completely forgot about that. So gosh, all right, I'm going to get the railings on that. I'll get the photo etch off and we'll be back with it actually complete in a second. And actually I was just pointing to the wrong part. This part is not what we're doing. We're doing, where is it now? This bit. Okay, these bits of railing here going on that. That we've still got to do as well. Alright, that is actually the railing that goes around the top of this. Okay, which I'd also forgotten when I was checking and found out I had some bits of photo etch left over. I didn't know what they were for. So that's for that. So yeah, I'll do both and be back. Okay, so that's done. The other piece is done. We've got our ladder on there as well, so that's all good. I'll put that aside. Now there was one piece left on the photo etch that I've missed somewhere, and I realized it was part 40. And when I went back and found it, it's the piece that sits under this lifeboat here. Okay, that's the railing there. I haven't glued it yet. I've just put it to shape, so I'm just going to glue that in there, and then that's it. Our photo etch fret is completely empty. So fantastic, all good. So I'm going to glue that and be back in a second. Okay, so we're over the page and we're looking at the helicopter. There's actually two helicopters and we've got a choice. We can do one with the rotors out or one with them folded back. So we'll probably do both. Why not? Then we can decide which one looks better on the deck. So we've got a separate sprue F here is just with the helicopter there. There is some nice detail in it. You can see like the lines in the panels there, and some of the outlines where the doors are and so forth. So we'll see how that comes up. It's, you know, these are a little bit tricky when they're so small. So yeah, well, I'm going to stick it together, I suppose. I don't know about colour. There is no colour call out for the helicopter, so we're going to have to do our own bit of research on that. I guess I just get it ready to take it all pieces off and get it together, and then think about the paint, because it's all going to be basically the one colour. I'm not even sure if we have decals for this. actual helicopter. I'm just going to quickly look through here. I don't think there are. No. So yeah, trying to get that looking as realistic as possible might be a bit tricky. Anyway, we'll tackle it just like everything else. So but other than that, this is ready for paint. Alright, now I have had a look and there is a waterline. I know there's another name for it, but the black line that goes across the length of the hull on both sides, we've got to paint that, and it's going to be hull red from below that. Alright, so there's going to be a bit of masking to do and so forth, and very delicate handling of this with all this photo etch. Unfortunately, using the Icky Sticky Flexi CA, there's very little chance. Look, I can tap this photo etch and I know it's not going to come off that easily. Alright, so let's, which it just did on the side there, but I'm tapping that a bit harder than I thought because I'm wearing my magnifying glasses at the moment and didn't realize. Anyway, let's work this out. So yeah, so I need to get Mr. Surfacer primer ready, get the airbrush primed up ready, and give this a nice coat of primer to start with. So what the hell, I might as well do that. So I'll do that, and we'll also do this because while paint's drying we've got to be working on this. Okay, alright, I'll be back in a second with a little bit more progress on one or the other. Oh, and one other thing I forgot is the stabilizers underneath on the hull there. See them on one on each side? Yeah, I left them off in case they were going to get knocked off, but they're way back in step 1. Okay, so I put them on and done. They're all sorted. Okay, so there you go. There's little things. I'm going back through the instructions, just making sure there's anything I've left off. But we should be good for paint on there now. Okay, back again soon. Okay, so I've been racking my brain how to hold this thing and paint it as easy as I can. Now, these parts here were no problem at all. I've used toothpicks with alligator clips. Okay, straight up, no problems. And I can work around them, so they'll be sprayed up easily. This was a bit trickier because there's so much. You got aerials on here, we've got photo etch to be careful of. But what I've managed to do is use the stands that it's going to be on, and I've put them in the bottom. Okay, and the front one fits really tight, the back one here is a little bit looser, so I've got to be a bit careful there. And then I'll just sit it here on this foam, and being a bit careful, that'll be fine. Scrap bit of foam there to hold things on. So there we go. I'll be able to do all of the top, both sides of the ship, and what I'll do is I'll wait, and when it's all dry I'll do the underside of it. There is a way I could put a couple of clamps on there and hold it upside down while I spray the hull. Okay, that's the easy part, putting the primer on. The tricky part is going to be getting the black waterline mark across there and masking it up for that. But I'll be fine, I'm confident. So anyway, I'll go get some paint on this, some Mr. Surfacer Grey primer, and then while that's drying I'll be able to start on those 2 helicopters. Okay, welcome back, and we've got some paint on. Well, some primer anyway. So it's Mr. Surfacer primer, and let's have a look at these first. I'll move that down a bit out of the way. So there we go, looking nice, nice coverage. Just made sure everything was covered. We didn't want any spots coming through with the metal photo etch anywhere. and yeah, it's really nice. So they're done, and of course there's our ship, is mostly done. I've done all the top, as you can see, both sides, okay, but not directly underneath where I've been holding it by these stands here. Okay, but it's gone on really well, looking good, nice coverage. When that is completely dry, I'm going to do it tomorrow now, I'm going to put this away. I'll turn it upside down and I'll do underneath that hull, get that completely done, and I'll leave that for a good day to dry, because the next step on this will be to start masking up where we're going to put that waterline marking. So I want to make sure that's super dry, and I'll probably put an extra layer across the hull as well. Yeah, so there we go, very good. While that's drying, I'll do the helicopter tomorrow, but that will be in the next video. All right, that'll be in part 7 actually. So thanks for watching so far, and I hope you're enjoying following along. I hope this is helping some people, and I'll come back next time and I'll show you actually the airbrush I'm using, so you know that, and got some idea of what I'm doing out there. And yeah, alright, thanks everybody. Don't forget, hit that subscribe, like, your comments are welcome below, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay, bye for now.